Welcome to Jilly Bean's Creative Candy Jar. My name's Jill, where we will talk about all the creative escapades I've gotten up to in the last month. So it's been about a month since I was here last time, and we've done quite a few things, and we'll talk about those as we move forward. But first, I want to thank everyone for coming back. I appreciate it very much. If you're new, I hope you like what you see. If you do, please like and subscribe. Here I talk about knitting, sewing, quilting, cross stitch, all the different creative things I get up to, and of course, all of the things that I've purchased, because I do a lot of purchasing. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I always say to my friends, I'm purchasing for when I retire, so I don't have to purchase as much then when I don't have the income I have now. So we'll see. That day is approaching quickly. So a couple more years, but we'll see. For those of you who are new, like I said, my name is Jill. I live in New England. I actually live in Massachusetts. I've been here for about 31 years now. I'm originally from New Jersey. I'm not a huge fan of the Northeast, and it's not even the cold, it's the dark. So as my husband and I start thinking about retirement, I'm like, I don't mind being cold as long as I can have more daylight at the end of the day. So we're thinking west, to closer to the time zone change. So we'll see. I don't see that coming in the near future, but you never know. So what have I been up to since the last time I saw you? Quite a bit. So my son has a wonderful girlfriend. She's lovely. Her birthday's at the end of October, and she wanted to do an escape room. And I have two very good friends. One I refer to as my childhood BFF, and the other as my adult BFF. So my son's girlfriend wanted to go to do an escape room. So my adult BFF, myself, my son's girlfriend, and her father went. God love this child. She went with 3 adults who had never done an escape room before, and we had a really, really good time. Took us a little bit of time to get into it and figure out what we were supposed to be doing, but I had so much fun. I would love to do it again. So hopefully she'll want to do it again with us. We had a wedding. My neighbor's son got married. It was a very small, little intimate, very close friends and family church wedding. And then next weekend, he's having his reception. I'm referring to it as the party wedding. So it was very nice to be included in the first group. I've known him since he was born. So the folks across the street have 4 children, and I have 1. And we're very lucky in that my son is dead in the middle of their 4. So literally the 5 of them grew up together. We moved into this house when I was pregnant. And we're still here. And it's been really fun to watch the kids grow up and grow from crazy little kids to a really nice group of adults. And what else did we do? Oh, we went on my husband's pre-hunting trip. So he actually is off hunting now in the Catskills with one of his college buddies, but he likes to do like a pre-hunting trip. I don't know why. What does he do in the pre-hunting trip? I don't know. All I know is I drop him off at the woods. He goes in and does his thing for a couple hours. I don't know. He walks around and looks for evidence that there's animals there or whatever. And I go shopping. And I did that. And in fact, bought an entire quilt top. So we'll show you that in a little bit. And I think that's about it. So we've had a pretty busy couple of weeks. Work is still crazy. I work for an industrial real estate company, and from now till the end of the year, we have at least 5 or 6 more transactions we'll be doing, and it's a lot, but that's okay. Better to be busy and exhausted at the end of the day than to be bored and exhausted because you're tired from doing nothing all day. So let's dive right into what I've been up to. Like I said, I talk about my knitting, general crafting, sewing, and cross stitch. So generally I start with knitting. That's where I'm going to start again today. So last time we met, I told you, I hope you didn't see this sweater again, which is the Ellen's Playset by Petite Knits, because I was knitting it for my son's, one of his friends that had a little girl, and you're going to see it again. And it just so works out, I reached out to the mom who lives here in town and to see if she was going to see the kids for the holidays. And while they're not seeing them for Thanksgiving, they are going to see them between Christmas and Thanksgiving. So she has kindly offered to hand deliver it for me. Generally, I have no problem with mailing things, but as we get close to the holidays, you know, the mail's not always the best. So here it is, all finished. So I really, really, really like this. This is done with La Bien Amie, and I will link this in my Rav page for you. And I just put my little tag on this morning. So they say knit worthy, because I always say, people always say to me, will you knit for me? And I always say, no, you're not knit worthy. So, and on the other side, they say, let's see if you can see those, hand knit by Jill. So this is all done, ready, blocked, ready to go to the recipient. So I always make a handmade tag. I got a rubber stamp set that's got all the little laundering requirements, whether it hand wash, cold, warm, iron, the whole bit. So I will stamp out a card for them, and that will be ready to go. I was hoping to have this finished for my husband for his hunting trip, but it didn't happen. And that is the Dylan Beanie, and I'll have it ready for his next trip. So he will go again the week between Christmas and New Year. And this is called Hunter Orange. And this is from, where is the mill? The mill is in Vermont, I believe, but I can't, now all of a sudden I'm drawing a blank on the name of the mill. So I will also link that below. I love whenever I can buy domestic products, especially things that are made locally. I love to support the small business whenever possible. I love a good hand-dyed yarn, but this yarn, I have to tell you, if you, God, what is the name of it? Oh, well, anyway, I will link it. It is so soft and spongy and squishy. If it wasn't the blaze orange, I'd keep it myself. I really like it a lot, but I don't think blaze orange is a good color for me. So, and then the other thing I have been knitting on is another Petite knit sweater, and this is the Ankers. It's the summer tee, but I'm going to make it with long sleeves or 3/4 sleeves. I haven't decided. So, and I didn't get very far, but I have made some progress. So cast it on. I like to do a provisional cast on, a crocheted cast on, and get started. This is a great, I like to walk in the morning. I have a walking pad, and this is a great project that I can do while I'm walking because it doesn't take a lot of thinking. So I will work on that when I'm on my walking pad. So those are my knitting things I'm working on. I'm going to probably cast on another pair of Christmas socks. I finished a pair. Actually, oh, here they are. They were blocking. So this is a pair of Christmas socks I finished. So I love this yarn so much that I actually ordered more from this particular dyer. She is in Rhode Island, and I will show you that. That came this week. So I will probably cast on another pair of Christmas socks. I love to knit socks. I don't necessarily like to wear them, but I do love to knit them. I always have at least one sock on the go. I always keep a sock in my desk at work. I read a lot of legal documents for work. So lots of times if I'm reading something really intense and I need to focus on it, that reminds me, I have to tell you about focus. I will pull out the sock and start knitting, because I find that what it will do is will quiet that side of my brain that's saying, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. And it will make that side a little bit quieter so that I can really focus on what I'm reading. I kind of mastered the reading and very basic knitting when I was getting my paralegal a couple of years ago. So I knit like the bodies of sweaters while I was reading all the legal documents for that, and I have found that it's really helpful. So, yep, hang on one second. So I don't know if you guys have seen, I know everybody, I shouldn't say everyone, I know a lot of people, come up with words for the year. So I ordered, my word for the year this past year was focus. I have failed horrendously with this word. So it's going to be a repeat for 2026 too. See how it has the little 2025 charm? I'm just going to add a 2026 charm to that. I failed horrendously. So I had ordered this from Under the Woolen Willows, I believe, and I will link her below. I got one for myself and one for my friend Stephanie, the New England Stitcher, who she was going to try to focus on being okay with saying no thank you when people ask you to do things. She's done much better than I have. And like I said, I have failed horrendously. That focus will be my word for 2026. So hopefully I will do much better next year, but we'll see. So that's kind of my knitting. I've cast on another baby sweater. I don't have that to show you. And I will continue to, I really will finish my husband's hat before Christmas. I will probably cast on another hat for my son. We'll see. We'll see how far I get with things. I always have these great ideas that I'll get all this stuff done. And then all of a sudden it's like, it's Christmas Eve and nothing's gotten done. So we'll see. Again, focus. Not too good at that. So that's what I've done knitting wise. Sewing, I've been pretty productive in my sewing space. I've been very happy about that. So if you follow me on Instagram, and on Instagram, my Instagram name is Jillybuck. My husband calls me that sometimes. So anyway, so I made this project bag yesterday, and it's the Tula Pink, some of the Tula Pink Christmas, some just general Tula, I just said Tula Pink, didn't I? Tilda, I'm so sorry. The Tilda fabrics. So yes, so I made this yesterday because, that was something else I did. So I am local to Stitch New England, and she had posted that she was hosting a Friday night kind of like a sit and stitch from like 6 to 11, and she was gonna have pizza. It was a fabulous evening. I had a wonderful time, and my friend Ann went. My friend Sarah, the Rhode Island RI Lighthouse Stitcher, I believe she goes by. We sat with some new folks. We sat with Jane from the Boss Stitchers. We had such a fabulous evening. And it's the first time I've been in her shop. So if you are in the area, she recently moved. I think she moved right after, was either right after or right before her retreat. She moved from North Attleboro to Plainville, Massachusetts. And her new space is fabulous. I highly recommend. It's worth the trip. And I think she has Sunday hours too. Because that's right, she does. Because I know Stephanie and I were talking. I was in to see her yesterday she works for Blackstone Quilting, which is where I buy all my fabric. And we're talking about doing a Sunday stitch. So I saw this pattern, which is the Brenda Gervais Bells Are Ringing. And I was like, this is so cute. I love it. And so I picked that up, but I pulled the colors and they were a little muted for my taste. And I had seen Mrs. Jones Stitches had done, brightened it up with some color and cotton. And I was like, I want to brighten mine up too. So I just went in and picked colors I really, really liked. And then I came home and I pulled out my fabrics, and I had pulled out a whole bunch of like plain neutrally brownyish fabrics. But then I pulled out this lovely, minty green, and this is Winter Mint by Atomic Ranch. It's 36 count, and this is what I'm going to stitch mine on. So I was going to start on December 1st, But yesterday when I posted this on Instagram, Kathy Walker posted that there's a sale starting on Thanksgiving. So I think I'll be starting then. Although I am hosting Thanksgiving this year, although not as big as it's been in the past years. Like I said, my family's in New Jersey. Lots of times they come to see me for Thanksgiving, or I'll go there. But I said to my husband, I cannot get in the car and travel anywhere else this year. We have done a lot of traveling, whether it be by car or plane. And I'm just like, I'm done. I'm not going anywhere. So I actually even said to him, if it's just me, you, and your mother, we're having turkey sandwiches. But it's actually going to be my husband, my mother-in-law, and my best friend and her husband. My son and his girlfriend go to Maine. So I'm actually very much looking forward to it. It'll be a lot smaller than I normally do. I also told my husband, I'm not doing appetizers. Everything goes on the table at one time. And we'll see how that goes. He's going to cook the turkey. He's usually getting home the night before Thanksgiving because he's usually hunting that week. But this year it's earlier because Thanksgiving's so late. He's actually hunting now. So he's telling me he'll be able to help me. So we'll see. I'll do as much as I can ahead of time, and then I cook my turkey on the grill. I am not my mother was not a huge fan of the smell of cooking turkey. So we always cooked our turkey as kids growing up on the grill. So I'm pretty sure all of my siblings do the same thing. So I will be putting my turkey on the grill. Tastes so good. And it frees up the biggest thing it does, it frees up your oven space to anything else that you want to put in your oven. What else? Also sewing wise. So I had picked up this pattern, and actually I bought it this is Sparkle and Charm Pillow, and I bought it as a kit from Simply Stitches Fabric Shop. So that's where I picked up this. So I bought it last year and it's been sitting around. So this week I sewed this together and I think this is fabulous. I will make it again. I probably would love to do it in like Halloween colors or fall colors. And yesterday the Amazon man came and dropped off my pillow. In fact, I just saw him pull up again. So hopefully I don't have my Alexa chime at me to tell me that I have a package. So I really, really enjoyed doing that. That was a lot of fun. And like I said, I would do it again. I love this fabric line. This is the Sweetwater fabrics. I love it so much that I have like 2 quilt tops worth of this fabric line in my collection. And general crafting, I made myself. So this is one of the mini jewelry box cases that you can get. Got it on Amazon. And I actually, where's my red one? Yep. So I pulled out the guts. So it will look like this when you pull out the guts. Use a hairdryer. It will heat up the glue and it makes it a lot easier to pull it apart. And because the little ones don't have ribbons to hold them open, I put my own ribbon on. I took a piece of mat board and covered it with some batting and fabric for the top, made a little pocket. And this, I simply took a strip of fabric, folded it in half, stretched out some elastic, zigzagged it in, nothing fancy, and just glued all that in and put a pretty red check on the bottom. I'm going to make myself a cute little pin cushion. I'm not a big needle minder girl. I love a good pin cushion though. So I will pick something from my winter collection here and make myself a pin cushion. So that's what I've been doing sewing wise. Now wait till you see how much cross stitch I got done. I was really, really surprised. So are you going to the Jingle Ball? I am. I'm taking 2 classes. So one is the strawberry class. No, the pear class. It's a fruit. So I finished Joy and I stitched that on 36 count Cranberry Bog, which was an exclusive color for Stitch New England for her retreat. And I stitched that with 1 strand of Color and Cotton Peach Cobbler, Peach Ice Cream, Peach something. So, and I'm really looking forward to learning how to assemble the pair. That was my Alexa telling me that my packages arrived. So I also picked, so that one I didn't get as the kit. I'm reaching over here, so excuse me. I picked up some green lady dot to use. And this is the color Peapod to use with my pear. I thought that was very Christmassy, so I will use that to assemble the pear. I'm taking the class because I really want to learn how to put that pear together. Was it last year? Yeah, last year I saw on Instagram someone, and if I can find the picture, I will post it here, did the Annie B's 12 Days of Christmas stockings in pretty bright colors and made them into pairs, and that's what I want to do. So I collected a whole bunch of fabric. Have I stitched anything yet? No, but we'll see. So I actually have one finished cross stitch piece, not FFO'd, but finished. So that's a good thing. What else have I stitched? So I told you last time I was going to work on this Erin Elizabeth Autumn Turkey, and I was planning on starting it on what is our Columbus Day, which was this year was Canadian Thanksgiving. Well, that didn't happen. I started it on November 1st, and this is how far I got. Let me tell you, that turkey, there's a ton of color changes in this project. I'm probably going to put this away now. I have a couple of fall pieces here that I'll show you that I think I'm probably going to put away for the season, just for a little while. I'll probably pull them out again before the fall, but I'm kind of done with fall stitching for right now. So that was one piece I worked on. I also told you last time I was going to start the Stitcherhood, the Quaker Pumpkin, and I did. This was a table mate gift from Stitch New England from Linda Jean, and I got that started. She gifted us the pattern, the floss, and the fabric, so I got that started. And I'm keeping that in a Teresa Kogut fabric bag that I made myself. I also worked on hands-on designs, the Block Party Snow, and that is in the snowman bag that I made as the table mate gifts for my friends for Stitch New England. And last time we did this, I showed you, I had just done a little bit like this far, but I have gone all the way across, mostly because I wanted to make sure it was going to fit on the fabric. I wasn't convinced that it was going to fit, and it does, just fits. And as you can see, I sewed some fabric on the bottom so that I can put it in my Nerge hoop. I like to stitch with a Nerge hoop. So I threw that on there. I'll probably have to sew some on the sides just so that I have the grip, because I don't like it drum tight, but I do like it fairly tight. So I worked on that a little bit. That will stay out. And this one I can probably stitch on through January, so I will continue to work on that. I also worked on, so this is being kept in another project bag I made myself. This is, what's the name of this pattern? Harvest Keeper by Plum Street. And I am stitching this on 36 count winter mint. I must really like that winter mint, although this seems a little bit different in coloring, but so I made a lot of progress. The biggest thing here was I wanted to make sure that my border met up, and it does. So I was really happy about that. And now that I've got the border done, I might actually, sorry, I don't iron between stitching, measure it for a frame that a lot of the sites have sales for Black Friday. So I'm thinking about measuring it and being ready to go with that. I might have to touch base with my friend Chris, the camping stitcher, to make sure I'm measuring properly. She orders a lot from, I think her preferred company is Art to Frame, and she's had some beautiful frames, so I thought I might try to do that. And then the last thing I've been working on, which I still need to keep working on it, is because I'm also doing the stand-up class at the Jingle Ball, the, what's this? Stand Up for Santa. So, and that's how far I am with that. So I should be done by the time the Jingle Ball rolls around, but I'll keep working on that. So those are the things that I've worked on. So cross-stitch plans-wise, obviously I need to finish my homework for class. And I did pull out a couple of things that I think I'm going to try to work on from now until like Christmas. So hang on a second, let me show you what I've pulled out. Move some of these things out of the way. I always have so much stuff and run out of space so quickly. So let's see what's in my bag of tricks here. So after I take my stand-up class, I'm going to bead my Lolly and Santa Claus that are done. But I haven't beaded those yet. Those are from Satsuma Street, so I could have those ready for Christmas. So I really would like to work on, this is Up on the Housetop by Teresa Kogut. I got it last year at the Jingle Ball, and I know Sully Stitches was talking about having a Back to the Ball Sal. So I really would like to pull this out and work on it after I finish my homework stitching. So that will be, and this is on a 32 count, so that's a lot easier for me to see without magnification, and I just need good light, so I will probably work on that. It's a great one to work on while I'm watching hockey or something with my husband. The other things I have collected for my things I would like to work on for Christmas time are, this is the Tree Lot by Hands On Design. I didn't get very far last year. That's as far as I've gotten so far, but I'm going to pull that out. I really would like to finish them as trees. So this is my very rough template, very much like the way Helen did. Helen D did with her trees. I love her trees. So that's it. Will I have one of these done before Christmas? I doubt it. But hope springs eternal. And we know I want to start my Bells Will Be Ringing by Brenda Gervais, which I'm going to start, like I said, on Thanksgiving. And the other one I'm going to work on it because I really, really like this. This is the Christmas Bell Sampler, and this is how far I got on it last year. So we started, a bunch of friends and I started this last year at the Jingle Ball, and I am stitching mine on 36 count Atomic Ranch Plumpus Reed. And it's this really pretty, I guess that's kind of a good color. Yeah. It's kind of like a soft brownie peachy undertones to my fabric. So I really like it. And I picked all my own colors. And I'm still trying to figure out what color my bells are going to be. I know they're going to be silver. Let's open these up a little bit. I know I want them to sparkle. Sparkle is very important to me. So I have about 6 or 7 different. So I have some of this. I have a whole bunch of stuff in the other room. Actually, if I'm looking in this bag now, there's like 4 different colors of the silver. I like silver. So I would really like to make some good progress on that. And then the last one I have here is, this is Hands On Design, Heart and Hand, Tiny Town Christmas. And I started this last year. It's a pitiful little start. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even show this. It's like, really? You actually did that much? So that's how far I got with that. So this is being stitched on 32 count vintage country mocha. And I am stitching it on the mottled side of the fabric. Because as you know, lots of folks will use the reverse side. It's just as beautiful. I wanted the model side. So I am stitching on that. So I would like to put some stitches in on that this year. So I have a little box next to my chair with all my winter stitching things. These things are all in there. There's a couple other ones in there too. But these are the ones I really would like to get some progress made on. So hopefully, when I meet you in December, I can show you that I've done some work on those things. I will also be filming my first ever whip parade. I will tell you when I do that, you're going to need, it probably will have to be filmed in steps. A couple of years ago, so it'll be a year in February, we went as myself and some friends, we did a little weekend away, and they're all floss tubers, and they're like, you should do a floss tube, and they convinced me to do this, so I very much appreciate them encouraging me. But I did a PowerPoint presentation for them, which is much more in my wheelhouse, of all of my whips and kits, and I think I had 70 something whips and 40 or 50 kits. Yeah. Oh well. You know that word focus? Hopefully in 2026 we can make some progress on some of those things. So I've talked about my knitting and my knitting plans, talked about my cross stitch and my cross stitch plans. I showed you my sewing. I forgot to tell you what I plan to work on for sewing. So I am doing an exchange with some cross stitch friends as well as some knitting friends. So both of those have projects that I need to work on sewing wise. And when I package those things up to be gifted to the folks that they're being gifted to, I will film little short videos of what I've made and insert them in my December update so that you can see what I made and how I packaged them, and we'll go from there. I also, last time we met, I also told you about I was going to work on this bag, and I did work on it. It's in the closet back there because I got stuck with sewing the zipper in on the top. I don't know why it was giving me a hard time, and I decided that I needed to move on to some more winter type sewing, so I put it away for a little while, as well as the what are those things called? Planner cover, sorry. So I put that away, but I did cut myself out a planner cover in the Tilda Christmas type fabrics, the reds, and I'm really not a red person, but for some reason I'm drawn to her reds because I think it's because they don't scream red. They're more of a subtle red, so I cut that out. So we'll be working on that. And I made some purchases. So let me show you some of the things I've purchased. One moment, please. Remember I told you I went over to see Stephanie yesterday? So I purchased stuff that I've already cut into that I can't show you because I'm using it for, sorry, I shouldn't talk to you with my back to you. I'm using it for the gifts that I will be gifting. So they're cut up and all over the place here. But I did also pick up this. Oh my God, I love this color. So I picked up a half yard of each of these. Exactly what am I going to do with it? I don't know. I will probably make myself a cross-stitch project bag and a knitting project bag and maybe a cover for a day keeper. I don't know. I just loved it. I thought it was great. So I picked up that and I ordered. So my friend Emma, who you should follow, that her and her mom at Beanie Stitches, likes to post on our little group chat when different organizations are having different things. So she posted about Color and Cotton's Fabric of the Month Club. So of course I signed up for that. And while I was there, I saw she had a grab bag of fabric. So I picked up some linen. I have no idea what's in there. And I picked up some really pretty floss. And I picked up this floss going coastal, and this is patriotic. So I did put together, and I'm going to make a patriotic stitchy case, but I know I was working on Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. I didn't get any stitches in on it this month, and I feel really bad because I really, really want to work on that. So it sits next to my stitchy chair. Hopefully this month, after I finish my homework, I can pull it out and get some more stitches in on that. And I also ordered these 2 cute little patterns. So I have a tendency when people annoy me at work to shop. I've done a lot of shopping lately. So I picked up these 2 cute little patterns. And for this turkey, he's so cute. I know I won't get him done before Thanksgiving. I was looking, and it's done with wool. And I didn't have a lot, but I went on Amazon. I was surprised they had this cute little pack of wool. So I picked that up. So this will probably be a next year project. And I did cut out the little, sorry about the glare there, this little Santa hat pin cushion. So I've cut him out and sewed it. I haven't finished it. Maybe we'll get it done for Christmas. And what else did I pick up? Oh, I told you that sock yarn that I knit my Christmas socks in. I really like this yarn. It's from Potions and Pearls, and she's based in Rhode Island. And it's so soft and squishy. And this particular color is pink peppermint. So I picked that up. I really like that. So this, I see myself making myself a pair of shorty socks in the near future. Told you I went down to Stitch New England for that stitch night, and while I was there, she had a couple of new patterns that I didn't have, so I picked up this one. This is Frosty Bulb from Teresa Kogut. Thought he was really cute, and I could put him in my snowman bag. I really like snowman, and I picked up this one. This is from Crochet Go-Go? Nope. I don't know who did this one. Oh, you know what? It's really glary, so hold on a second. I'm sorry. Excuse me as I take it out of the plastic. Sorry about that. I'll just chit-chat louder. So I picked up this snowman. And it's all DMC floss, which I really like. So I will put that in my snowman bag and work on him. Should ask my husband what it says. It's in Italian. My Italian is very limited. About 10 years ago, my mother and I went to Sicily. So my husband worked really hard with me. And I was able to be able to say enough things if I needed to get around. I did. We're planning on going again next year. And it started as a trip. My husband and I were going to go. My mother said, oh, hey, can I come? And I said, of course. Now, my niece, who graduated college last year, but she's getting her master's this year. So she started her master's while she was a senior in college. So 2 years ago, we talked about this, and she said, I really want to go, but I need to wait till after I graduate. So we said, okay, we'll wait till this year. So she wants to go. Then my other niece, who is graduating from college this year, expressed interest in going. So I think she's going to come. And then my girlfriend and her husband want to come. My son and his girlfriend might be coming. So what started as a very small trip is now turning into a potential group trip, which would be lovely. In fact, I have to remember to text my siblings to see if anybody else is interested before I start the planning. So we might get a group rate. Wouldn't that be fun? So I mentioned that I went with my husband on his pre-hunting trip. So he hunts in the Catskills in Margaretville. And there was this, I've been in a number of times. It's called Bloom Fabric and Art Retreat. So she has a website, email, bloomquilt.store is her website. She has this little retreat space. So it's really pretty. So you see how they have all those rooms there. And she's got a kitchen and sewing space. So while I was there were some women there that were doing a weekend away. They had such a good time. And I was like, that's great because you can just come right to the front of the store and get what you need. I thought it was really good. So she has quilt stuff. She packs a lot of stuff in a small little space. She had some cross stitch things, so I picked up the Acorn Trio, which I will add to my stitching for next year. She has great fabric, so I picked up a couple of pieces of fabrics that I'm going to probably either make project bags myself or ask my friend Stephanie to make me some keepers. So I picked up, I love bicycles. I don't like to ride bicycles, but I just love bicycles, and this pretty plaid with that. And then this really pretty Christmas and the matching plaid with that. So I picked those up. She had this book, and it's Planted Seed Designs. And this particular quilt on the front is the one I'm going to make right there. So let me see. There's a better view of it. So I picked up the fabric to make that, but I'm not doing it in that type of those colors. So this is my color palette. So I'm going to do the background in this orangey color. One of the stars will be the green. The center orange pieces, I believe I decided were going to be this. Actually, what I probably should do is write it down so I don't forget. So I'm going to work on that. I'll probably work on cutting that out maybe the week between Christmas and New Year, because I do have a flag quilt that I'm working on that's all cut out. I've started sewing it, so I'll probably sew that. I take that week off from work. It's inevitable. I usually have to do a couple of things for work that week, but that's fine. I'd rather be able to do it from home in my pajamas than have to go into the office. It's a quiet week that week in the office generally. And I picked up this pattern. Pull this up. So this pattern is one that this one actually I got from shabfabrics.com. And this is made with, obviously you could buy yardage and make it with the yardage, but it works really well for 2 charm packs and a jelly roll. And then of course, some yardage for your border. And I was just like, that is the perfect, because it's literally these squares. These are 5-inch squares sewn together. I think they're 5-inch squares. You might have to cut it down. I haven't read the pattern. But if you do a charm pack, it's so, the cutting part is done. So I thought that would be a really good quilt top to work on. And it finishes, I think it finishes like 85 by 85. Why do I think that? I have no idea, but I thought it would be a good like lap quilt and something that when you come home from work and you want to be creative, but you really don't have the brain power to be creative, I thought this would be a really good project to work on for that type of a time period, which is a lot sometimes for me. Sometimes when I get home, it's like I just don't have the brain capacity to do much, which is why I like knitting, because it is such, for me, it's just very rhythmic and soothing, and it just calms my brain. So everybody has their craft that works for them, and I think we should all do it. So that is my palette cleanser, is some knitting. So that's pretty much everything I have. I think I showed you. Nope, nothing left on the table behind me. I would love to say I'm going to put all this away and finish working on those calendar covers. They're not calendar covers. What are they? Planner covers. Oh my goodness. but I don't think I'm going to. I have a funny feeling I'm going to put all this away, and then I think I might go watch a movie and finish doing my stitching for the Jingle Ball. If you are at the Jingle Ball, I hope to see you there. And as always, if you have a question about anything I showed you, please drop it in the comments below. I do try to respond to comments timely. Not always, but I do try. Or you can email me anytime. I think my email is below. And it's either, you can either email me at Jillybean's Creative Candy Jar or jillknits24 at Gmail, and both are Gmail accounts. I have multiple Gmail accounts. Best thing you can ever do is have a Gmail account for like your personal stuff, a Gmail account for your, and I'm calling it business stuff, but it's like your bills and things like that. And then I have one just for all my creative things. So I like that. So please feel free to reach out. Like I said, I will link below my Rav page with some details on some of the knitting things I've done, the any of the patterns I've shown that I know that if folks are interested, please feel free to reach out. I'll happily let you know where I pick things up. But I think that's all. And until next time, if you're here in the United States, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy your time with your family and friends. And I will see you in, say, mid to late December. Thanks. Bye.